Question: what event has had a Nike athlete win the last 3 years? Answer: it's Players Week, baby! Welcome back to the Swoosh Life Podcast, episode 89. 90s next week. Guess what that is. And it is Players Championship Week. This is our Players preview show. And of course, we're talking about Scottie, and Rory, who have won the last 3 Players. Only 3 people in history done something else. We'll get into that a little later. But Scottie was only a back-to-back. I don't know. I don't want to ruin our facts for later, but we are back.
Laying all the cards out right off the bat.
I got so excited.
Show's over.
Players Week. I'm just getting back from Jacksonville myself. I did a little Players preview. We'll get into that. Keith is on site, if you can see. He's at a different background at a hotel in Jacksonville Beach, ready for the Players Week. And Matt is in his home studio in balmy Chicago area.
Not anymore. It's back to 40 and there's hail. So if I drop, just know I will reconnect via the hotspot. But
yeah,
there's the thunder. I don't know if y'all can hear it.
I brought the nice weather back with me. There's no snow in Syracuse right now. It's crazy. So I came back from Florida, a little vacation time, and I brought it back here. It was 67 degrees. We'll give that to the Gen Xers right there, and or whatever they are, Gen Z, I don't know. But we're back. We are back. It's been a little bit. Good to see you guys. How are we doing?
Doing great, guys. I thought the whole 6-7 thing was over with. Is that can we just move on from there?
It is. That's my millennial show.
That was it. That was the end. That was the end of it.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. I literally just killed it.
Yeah. I went from snow this morning on the ground. Got to up to 70 degrees up in Connecticut. Made my way down, got on a plane. We're recording on Tuesday night, so I came down to Jacksonville, Florida, Tuesday. I'm 25 minutes down the road from TPC Sawgrass, Jaguar country for Gumby that just left. So Gumby and I just kind of crossed paths. I flew, he drove, and crazy times. But, got my first round at 18 and 2 at Glen Corinne. Really nice Jim Furyk private course that just opened up last August. Really nice. Go check it out online and everything. I tagged them in a couple of things. Beautiful facility. Grass is growing, and they redid the whole course. Used to be an old beat up public course. Kind of gutted the whole thing, resodded the whole thing, and it's getting good shape already. It's turning green already. Can you believe that? In March, actual green grass. But other than that, Matt, I'll get to you, but might be able to sneak in on Wednesday, and I'll definitely be at the Players Thursday and Friday. So I'll be posting, guys. Come find me. I might have some sticker packs to come and find me. Come grab them. Great to support the pod and everything. But Matt, how you doing? Snow still there, or is it melted? I can't.
No, it melted. We had a couple warm days, but I haven't been home. I was home for 1 week in February. And then I was
watching. I was watching your stories. You're all over the place.
And then I went to Charlotte, got to cook, and came back with this dry cough. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna try and hit the cough button as soon as I can. But it was 80 degrees. Okay, so what I do for work sometimes, like we do these work events, and it's not just our company cooking, but other companies are cooking. And people, we try each other's food, right? And this fella comes over and he's like, "Hey, you got to try my steak bites." Meanwhile, like I'm in the grill, guys. Like I'm pulling out skewers of shrimp. I'm like, "Yeah, buddy, I'll try it." And I grabbed the steak bite and I put it in my mouth, and it is still ripping hot.
Ooh.
It is now. We are recording on a Tuesday. I still I can barely eat potato chips. Like that's how like fried up my mouth is. So if I'm a little ornery tonight, that's the reason why. So for any of you guys that are like home cooks and stuff like that, remember, always cool your food before you serve it. There's a reason there's a resting time.
I'll have to tell you, I had the best barbecue beef rib that I've ever had in my life. At a place called ABBQ. Shout out, no free plugs, but whatever. Keith, go there, please, because trust me, I will be chasing the bark on this beef rib for the rest of my life. It was that good. So,
question for you.
Yeah.
Do they have a smoker outside?
It seemed that way. Yeah. So.
Yeah. If
I'm
you can
not
smell the
not
smoke, if you
exactly
can
sure.
smell, so these are my keys, guys. If you're looking for like a good barbecue place, if you can smell like really good wood smell from the
Yeah.
outside, that's a good sign. And two, if they actually have like a huge smoker outside. Other than that, uh, how do I say this a nice way? Most barbecue restaurants, they can't screw up. They all use the same equipment
Mhm.
unless somebody's got an outside smoker where they're actually using like
Yeah.
real firewood.
It just
But
was that rub, man. It rubbed me the right way. Let's put it that way. Well, let's move on. Let's move on. It is Players Week, and we're excited. We got lots of things to cover in today's show. We have an NRG drop coming. We have fifth major talk, and we have more things to cover about just everything in general. Rory, is he going to play? Is he not going to play? All that stuff, and more as we lead into Air Max Week in a couple of weeks, and then into our first major of the year down in Augusta, Georgia. So, gentlemen, where would you like to start? Where do you want to start today? Because we are all over the board.
we talk about Scotty throwing golf balls.
Let's do it. Let's talk about Scotty.
What do you guys think about Scotty? Letting loose a little bit, showing some temper, showing some fire and passion. Is that good? Do people get excited about it, or are people like, oh, he hit somebody with a golf ball?
I think it's good. It's good to see that side of him come out a little bit. We can't all be perfect every week like he's been throughout the last couple of seasons. So it's great to see a little bit of emotion. It just knows that he is the number one player in the world. He works hard to overcome those, whatever you could say demons and stuff like, getting upset over bad shots and everything. He's the one that will go out there and work on his game 24/7 to become still the number one player in the world. So it's cool to see that side of him. I think it's good for golf. We're all human. We're all going to make mistakes, but we just overcome and practice from them. So, Gumby, what do you think? Good for
Yeah,
the
I mean,
game?
I think it's good. I think obviously there's a little bit of like Scotty took time off, right? From the last one and last week at AP, he was like, "Yeah, I went home and reinvented my whole entire swing and reinvented the wheel." Like he said that in a press conference. Obviously, he was joking, but like he's starting to get, I wouldn't say more comfortable in the spotlight, but like he's there a lot, right? And so you're seeing like the funny like chill kind of side of him come out a little bit more. So, and I think then that's leading to like I wouldn't say like frustration, but like there's a reason why Tiger was always so locked in forever and didn't let that side out because he was a stone cold killer on the course, and that's what made him best player in the world for all those years. And you saw that with Scotty a little bit, and I don't know if it's like I don't think it's pulling him the other way. I think he's always been kind of like in the middle there, but to his standards, a top 10 streak coming to an end is like what the heck? And by top 10, he's finished like 12th, and I think he finished 19th or 21st last week at the AP. It's kind of one of those things where he's just in that like rut, if you can call a top 20 every week a rut. But we'll see what happens. He's going to a place that he feels comfortable with, obviously winning back to back. Player to ever do that, right? A couple of years ago. And so fits in pretty well, I think, with his thing. We'll get into that a little later on with the winner's circle and our picks for the Players Championship later. But yeah, I don't mind it. It just is what it is right now. With they're gonna try and find something with Scotty. He's been that good for so long.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things is you always got to find a way to get him in the news cycle now, which is actually encouraging, right? Like
Mhm.
people used to say, "Oh, is he a little too boring?" Well, now he's a little exciting to talk about and a little bit more in the news, and I think that there's nothing wrong with that. And we've all launched a golf ball. Actually, I can't tell you the last time I threw a golf ball. Probably thrown more clubs than I have golf balls. I don't know about you guys, but that's also you have to put it in the hole and get mad that you made a bogey, kind of thing. Another one I want to pivot to. Our guy Brooks is back. Our guy Brooks is back. He's playing at TPC Sawgrass for the first time in a long time. And a little thing happened in the media session. Somebody asked him, "Do you truly consider this the fifth major?" Now, I'm not going to ask you guys about his retort, but basically, he knew what the reporter was trying to get to. The reporter was trying to get him to say that it was the fifth major and that, basically denounce live. He didn't take the bait. My question for you guys is, do you consider this the fifth major? And I'll go to Keith first.
It's always it's always a topic every year that, not between us three, but always here, Golf Channel, everything. It's just, if it was going to be a fifth major, I think it'd already be a fifth major at this point. We've always had our four majors, and like me personally, I kind of like having this one stand out on its own. It's the Players Championship. I don't think personally it should be a fifth major. Like I said, I just feel like it just needs to stand out on its own. I love our other four majors in this game of golf. So, but it's always a topic of discussion. Just what if it's with the new that we can carry over to like the new schedule maybe next year for 2027. Like, could they possibly move this back to May again? That's another discussion too.
I know.
So,
I've always liked it in May more than I like it in March.
yeah.
But it sets up as like, that's the hard part too about this fifth major discussion, because
Like, does it kickstart the year? Is this going to be the kickstart, the fifth major of the year in March kind of thing? You're going to get the luck of the draw of the weather. Like right now, like I'm down here right now, it was 90 degrees yesterday and today. It's going to be 80, 70, 70, minimal chance of rain. So the weather worked out this year for it. But there's other years in March that it hasn't. It's been cold. We're in Florida, so it's like a hit or miss. Mostly good, but fifth major, like I said, I feel like it just needs to stay on its own. It could be its own. It's the Players Championship. We want the best people in the world, the best players in the world, and we're gonna get that. Gumby, what do you think? Yes or no?
No, I think if it moved back to May and then you moved the PGA back to August, then I'd be more on board than it being as a fifth major. Not sure I'm on board in general, but it's tough too because the ladies have 5 majors, right? They've
True.
got
That's
Chevron,
right. That's
US
right.
Open, KPMG, PGA, the Mundi Evian, and then the AIG Women's Open. So
Open.
if you want to align the games in a sense, then having a fifth isn't. You know what I'm trying to say, though, right?
No,
Like
I
it's
get
just
that. I get what
it's
you,
one
I
of
get what
those
you're trying to
things.
say. I think the
But
women do it out of necessity though, because if they have a sponsor and the sponsor like is the sponsor saying like, hey, like Evian or whatever it was for the longest time, hey, you pay enough money, we'll call this a major.
Yeah.
That's what it always felt like to me.
Right.
I don't know if that was the truth or
I
behind the
agree. I
deal.
agree. So that I don't necessarily say I want it that way, but again, if they're talking about it, Brandel Chambly has been all over it. Like it's the best like field in golf, and I'm like, why is it like the best field in golf? Like you don't. It doesn't. It's just a elevated tour event, right? Like it's not. We used to have the World Golf Championships. Those were the best fields in golf in a sense. You know what I mean? We used to have match play. We used to have the Doral, like all that stuff. So I just think that if they do it, because there's been discussion, then it needs to go back to May because, in my eyes, the Augusta needs to be first. Like that's just how it needs to happen. So it'd be Augusta Players, U.S. Open, British Open, PGA. I like that schedule originally, anyways. I don't like the PGA because again, you get shit weather if you do PGA in Rochester, which they've done, and it was, it's May and it's still not necessarily nice up here. Like we got crap weather. It was cold. Like so, I don't know, but to me, it's not the fifth major, but it's very, very much elevated to the toppest tier that you can be without being a major,
I feel like this is an argument I should have been making 3 years ago, and maybe more people would be behind us now. But it's like if you don't have John Rahm, who's won a major recently in the field, you can't call it the strongest field in golf, no matter how he's playing right now. You know what I mean? So it's like I get it; it's a PGA Tour event, but the strongest field in golf, like I
You
strongly
can't.
disagree with. You can't
Bryson,
say that.
Bryson has been in the majors the last 3 years straight. Like you can't say it, And
Yeah,
I would say those are the only
So no,
two
he's won
probably
a
from
major.
Live that
and it
you
is
can
only two, but you're
right
correct.
now. But that by default makes it not the strongest field, right? So
Yeah. I would agree.
but
I would agree. So so we're going to transition to another one. Rory's back.
poof,
And I
yeah.
don't mean he's returning. Maybe he's at home. They said that he's headed to Ponte Vedra. He's going to go through his reps tomorrow, they said. If you guys are Rory McIlroy, do you pack it up until Augusta or do you give it a go? Oh, you like that one? I'm gonna go to Gumby first on that one.
What's he done this year? Has he won this year? He hasn't won anything, right? Like he hasn't
No,
really
but
done
you
much.
got to remember last year he wins Pebble, he wins this, and then he gets to the Masters. Which here's time for the fun fact of the day, y'all. There's only 3 players that have ever won the Players Championship and the Masters, and those 3 guys are Tiger Woods in 2001, Scottie Scheffler in 24, and Rory McIlroy in 25. So it's not necessary that you have to win the Players to be considered that you're playing well and be a favorite to go into Augusta. Are you just packing this thing up until April if you're Rory, or do you get your reps in?
I think as a defending champion, there is a sense of like pride and duty of being a representative, especially I hate to call him this because I don't think he is that much anymore, but he's been a sort of maybe I won't even go there. I was gonna say he was given sort of a mouthpiece for like the tour a little bit, but he's kind of softened that stance and changed it like
Yep, that's
very
fair.
recently. But I do think it's important to him. Obviously, he's won it twice. He's the defending champion, so I think there's a due diligence to go try. But I don't know because he tends to play like Texas, like or something like 2 weeks before, right? Like he's played. I, Here's the thing too. Let's think of this from like a bigger picture. He's never gone to the Masters as a returning champion. He's always been trying to get the monkey off his back. So he's been trying to figure out what is the pattern to then play his best at the Masters. He found it last year, but all those other years he changed it up so his schedule so many times. He'd play in the par three contest, he wouldn't play, he would do a practice run, wouldn't do a practice run, blah 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 blah. Right? So now he doesn't have that. Maybe it is just pack it in to like just defend and be as best as you can because to be quite honest, you don't want to miss a cut at the Masters when you got to put the green jacket on someone on Sunday. You know what I mean? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
those
So,
those 2 extra days kind of hurt if you don't make that cut as a defending
yeah.
champion at the
So,
Masters. And he's got the dinner too and everything. Holy, but you got to make the
I'm
cut at the
excited for Rory's
Masters.
dinner this year, boys. I'm excited for Rory's dinner. So, but Keith,
With him mentioning possibly showing up Wednesday and he's getting treatment and work done at home, there's a good possibility that he does show up tomorrow when the podcast come out. You guys will be listening to it hopefully the Wednesday and stuff. I don't know. I looked at the alternate list and I see a Keith Williams on the alternate list in case he doesn't show up. And I have my clubs and I'm all scripted out, ready to go.
love it.
And I think it's under the winner's circle too of all the Nike athletes. So I think we're good there. But
Keith's picking himself for the winner's circle.
after today's round, I don't think so. But I think he'll be there. I feel like if it was as bad, just say it's as bad as we think it is or anything like that. I think he'd already withdraw or let us know, but he's trying to get there. You know, we're into Tuesday night, into Wednesday morning. He's trying to get there. So I think he's going to show up. Matt, Rory's your boy. What do you think?
Pack it up.
Back it up.
If it
Yes.
was me, I don't know how bad it is, right? Like I don't know how bad
Right.
it is, but I'm
I mean,
still
we've all had back
probably
injuries before, right? It's
yeah,
not.
we've all had it, and I mean, I think for the most part, every time I've had a back injury, playing golf has actually kind of helped it in a way. But also he's got the best treatment in the world, all that stuff. He knows his body better than everybody. My prediction, probably what happens is he plays the first and second round, and the minute something that he feels something, he's going to back out, and I don't think anybody would blame him, right? So once you start battling back issues, I mean, come on, how many back surgeries do we have to wait a season for Tiger to come back and stuff like that?
Yeah,
So
yeah, we don't want
like
that.
as
So
Nike golf fans, like we know the pain that is back surgery and stuff like that. So we don't want that to happen at all. But yeah, if it was me, I'd be like, man, I want as many green jackets now as possible. Which we've talked about a little bit maybe with Brooks about like the malaise of like regular everyday events. If you don't consider this a fifth major, is it worth the risk? And I would say it's not. But again, Rory does believe in the prestige of this tournament, so I think he's gonna give it a go. I believe so.
yeah, I think that was the what was it like Rex? Maybe not Rex Hogger, but like one of the guys out of Golf Channel was like he seems like he's been progressing over the last couple days. He's going to come up tomorrow. He'll go through it. He just won't have a practice round, and he should be his intention is to play. And so if his intention is to play, then I believe that he knows that he's good enough to play in it. So All right. We started this last segment, or this next segment on the last episode. So this is Around the Tour. And we have one large thing to talk about from a Mr. Tom Kim at TGL the other night. Playoffs on the line. And what does he do but have a hole-in-one during the TGL match on Tiger's team, all that stuff. Tiger's his boy now, I guess, or whatever, and all the Jupiter links going crazy. So congrats to Tom Kim on that. My question to you guys: simulator golf hole-in-one count as a hole-in-one?
Oh my!
Keith?
I can't believe we're gonna talk about this because
Hey,
one of
I'm proud of you. Taking a page out of my book. You tell a story,
Yeah.
and then
There you go.
yeah, well done. Well done. We're growing as a podcast, everybody.
We're
Look at
growing.
that.
That's why you guys are the best at this, and I just chime in when I need to. But my buddy talks about this all the time because he actually got a hole-in-one in a simulator, and we just break them on him that it's just not. I'm sorry, but it's not. Me personally, it's like it's not a
Was it an
hole-in-one.
18-hole round, or
It was an
it
18-hole round, yeah. Probably with a lot. I
not just
wasn't there.
bashing balls at a target?
No, it was 18-hole round playing a course. I wasn't there. They made him, the place that he went to made him a plaque too. And they kept it in the place.
Let
it
it count.
counts. Yeah, okay,
Let
it counts.
You got a plaque
It doesn't
on the
count.
wall. It's the same thing as like the hole-in-ones on a par 3. My thing too is like, so with YouTube golf, creator golf, hitting that like large boom. Right? You saw the stream with Barstool a couple years ago where Jersey Jerry trying to make a hole-in-one, and they celebrate it like he made a hole-in-one. It's not a hole-in-one. It's a hole in 7,000 shots that he took. Like, it's not the same thing. Like, I get that the feat is hard to do, and so even doing it is impressive to me. But it's one of those things when like you celebrate like the repetition over that I have a hard time with, because people try it on YouTube and all this stuff. Playing like an actual round of golf, and it's you hit driver and then you hit your wedge and then you putt and then you go to the next hole and you pick a 7-iron and you hit the 7-iron, you put it in the hole. That is a continuation of what golf is, right? Now you're not walking, you're not doing all that stuff, but you didn't just like beat the same ball over and over again to try and make it. So that's where my classification of a hole-in-one counting comes in. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it needs to be a full 18. You're not taking it, it's hard in the simulator. You're taking mulligans if you want, or you're stuck behind one of the trees and you keep hitting the ball into the tree, and it bounces back at you and stuff. So it's tough to say, but I'm not going to count it. Matt, what about you?
I feel like it's like dunking on a kid's rim. Like like you're at the park and you're doing a dunk contest, and all of a sudden, but it's an 8-foot rim, and then I would put, if you're on a par 3 course, that's like a 9-foot rim, and then
that was my next thing, is a par 3 course. So.
Yeah, I kind of want to count par 3 courses, but also like when you think about it, if you're a par 3 course, that's all you're doing, so you have exponentially more chances. So that's why, I think the question, I wouldn't count it, but I would brag about it.
It
Does
was
that make
cool
sense?
to watch. Yeah, it was cool to watch the celebration, right? I think TGL has found a little bit of a footing in the celebration and the excitement that they will bring to what is, in theory, the smallest kind of like win, right? Like, and seeing our guys kind of scattered throughout teams with Goddard up on Atlanta and Rory and Tom and all that stuff. Like, it is cool to see. We got a lot of people in the playoffs. So TGL playoffs coming up with Jupiter Links and Boston, and I believe it is LA and Atlanta this year. So should be cool. Tom's rocking a cool shoe. We'll get into that maybe in a couple weeks. And it was just like it's a cool thing to see, and fun to see Tiger celebrate like we've seen him in the past. So
You did bring it up. It's funny. One of my friends on Instagram, she was there and she was taking video of Tom come swing, and I was messaging her, but she couldn't check her messages while she was doing the TGL stuff. I'm like, don't zoom in on the shoes. We need the shoes. But the mystery shoes, it's funny because what hint can I drop for everybody? Nike just announced a new shoe coming out that looks very similar to what he's got on. So I don't know how they're related. That's all I'll say.
we'll have to do a bracket on it in a couple of weeks. It is Air Max Week bracket show coming up next episode. So that's a little tease. But we had to get around the tour in. So around the tour, if you guys see anything out there that you've seen on the tour from one of our Nike athletes, send it to us so we can showcase it on here. So next up, the Players NRG drop. I think we're going to rank these, talk about them, and go from there. They are pretty cool.
We're going to score them.
Score them. There you go. Rank, score, same thing. Sort of.
No, you can't rank them. You can't rank them if there's
You're
nothing
right.
to rank
You're
them
right.
against.
There's nothing to rank.
Right.
We're scoring them.
6 years, guys. 6 years. I've been here 5 years. We're trying to get
we
this
rank.
right.
We rank the major packs because
Packs that have multiple shoes. We rank those.
we score the individual shoes.
Thank
now
you.
You guys know. In case you didn't know, because I didn't know. Now you know. So I will be sharing my screen on YouTube. Make sure you guys follow us on YouTube. And so you can see what we're looking at. And you can also watch us on Spotify. We're the top percentage of video podcast on Spotify. So here we go. Scottie, a.k.a. the Nike Pro 4s, the goal. And we saw these in hand at the PGA show down in Orlando a couple weeks ago, months ago now, who knows. And, man, these things are cool. I enjoy them. And we get the details back that we love so much from Nike and Nike Golf. First off, it is, like I said, the Pro 4 model. You have the fly plate as like a white, almost iridescent, slight white. The water droplets that make a return from the Jordan 6's cheer wines, we'll call them, right? Those had the water droplets. There is an iridescent gold bottom plate, and which is a little bit, it's way different in person than it is in these pictures, I will tell you that. And then you got a little bit of the croc skin, that Florida feel on the collar of the shoe and the tongue. So I'll go through some of these pictures. You guys can talk about them, but initial thoughts before we score these.
I thought it was funny. Last year we had the Billy Goat Air Max 97. And then famously the story is the goats used to mow the grass because it was such swampland until an alligator snatched one of the goats in front of the members as they were playing. Supposedly the goat got away, but that's why there's no more goats at Sawgrass. So interesting that the croc leather comes into play here the following year. In person, this upper is more gray.
Mm-hmm.
It comes out more gray, I
You're
believe,
right.
from what I remember. Now, do you guys remember? I can't tell from these photos. It doesn't look like the type of iridescent sole that's going to flake off.
No, it didn't seem that way. It seemed like it was baked into the plastic of the bottom, kind of thing. So it was a lot more, I would say, shiny. It felt almost gold pearl, like that pearl kind of iridescence on this bottom than it does just like gold. I don't know. It doesn't come across in these photos enough.
Yeah, I will.
So
Yeah, so for my score, just real quick, I'm super happy we're getting a Scottie shoe after last year we went a few majors without a Scottie shoe. So the fact that it's a Scottie shoe is really cool. However, these for me are like a 3.6. I'm at a 3.6 on these. So good concept. I would have liked to reverse it. I would have loved to have the gray water drops on top and then more croc. I think if these like really laid into the crocodile theme, these would be like a 5.0 for me if it was an all croc top.
if this view shows the gray a little bit more. Yeah.
I,
Keith, your thoughts?
yeah, I always like what we do and what we bring into each of our energy packs. It's always something maybe on the course, something that happened around the course, something that happened in the state that they're playing in. So this kind of touches on all three, the croc for being down in Florida, the gold of the trophy, which is awesome, and then the water, constant water throughout the whole course at TPC Sawgrass. So they did a great job, great touch with everything. I do like how simplicity it is with just like almost like the three colors and that's it kind of thing, which is great to see. Rank or scoring wise, I will give these 4.25. I'm a fan. I can't wait to see Scottie rock them and everything. Gumby, I like the bottoms as well. I don't think they flake off like older models do or anything like that. And like with the bottoms of these Scotties, they're kind of rough and rigid with the wavy look to them. And even like on the retail Pro 4s, it's a nice little added traction. It's a little rough bottom, and I think the more gold, maybe the gold flaky stuff is built into the more of the footbed that doesn't hit the ground. So I don't see like any scuffing or any chipping coming off or anything like that. But 4.25 is my score on that. Gumby, what's yours?
Yeah, I like them a lot. I like to get them, but coming back from vacation, I am tapped on money. But I truly love that they brought the water droplets back from the Jordan 6 Cheerwine ones. I truly remember like these not getting enough. There was confusion around them all, like what they were, what they meant. But the water droplets on this was such like a cool like thing, like the condensation on the 6. So that was kind of cool. So to see it kind of come back as like the style. Did we get water droplets on anything else? Did we get something on?
I think on one of the
Um,
U.S. Open, was it the Air Max
yeah, this is
90s
here we go. Yeah,
from the
Air Max
Lobsters?
90s.
It was the
They're the
lobsters, yeah.
lobsters. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. So and they're very subtle on this because they're in the red. So it feels almost like the same thing where like it's just like a cool detail that they can add in with these water droplets on some of these shoes. Um, Weird thing for me, Scotty didn't win it last year. Rory did. So it's interesting to see the Scotty shoe get the energy pack and not the Rory shoe. Do we think Rory has one of these for him because he's the returning champ? Like remember he won it the year that he got his gold bottom like shoes, you know? So, curious about that. I love it because I love the Pro form, but just one of those like interesting like
Could see them
like
scrambling and
tidbits.
making a player edition for him to wear, but I doubt we'll get anything for retail. I think this is again Nike's
No.
product cycles. I feel like they're at least a year to 18 months. So Scotty won it 2 years ago. He's got a new shoe coming out, so they planned for this to be
Yep.
Scotty's shoe.
So
They didn't think that probably Rory or Scotty's the number one at that time. So I always try to think like 2 years ago, not last year, because it's just hard within 12 months for them to kind of get a release together that a player could wear and that we could buy. Getting a shoe together that the player could wear, yeah, they could do that in a 6 to 8 weeks.
yeah,
FedEx
yeah.
overnight.
Yeah, so I agree. I dig it. I think they obviously the TPC Sawgrass players lean into the gold a lot. You can see it on Keith's hat right now that he's got the gold statue logo. So it's a really cool touch that Nike's hit into. Nike has a really good relationship with the PGA Tour and TPC Sawgrass especially too. So cool to see these out there. Possibly out there tomorrow on the course. We're going to listen to it and Thursday. So look for them and look for them on NDC. Hopefully later this week for you guys to buy them. I am close to Keith on this. I'm a 4-3. A clean shoe, clean whitish gray shoe will always do it for me. I enjoy them. Like I said, I would be buying them tomorrow, Thursday, whatever they did come out, if I had the money. But I spent a lot of money at Buc-ee's this past couple weeks.
Best brisket sandwich in America, regardless of price.
So
Regardless of
yeah,
price, the fact that it's $8 makes it even better. Shout out to Randy Pauly of Holy Cow Cookers, man. Randy, we got Bucky's fans here, buddy.
I'll do a little hat switch for my Buc-ee's. There we go. Oh, Buc-ee's brisket hat switch there. Oh man, I got Matt to cough and laugh on that one, so that's all that matters. But Players Week, I'm excited. It's going to be, I think, a really fun event for us coming up. Keith, you are boots on the ground here this week. I went last week. Let's talk a little bit about fashion and the players. I feel like the new thing is these pro shops and the fashion and everything that we're coming out. I'm going to shout out first my boy Cavi, who's actually the first ever guest on the Swoosh Life Podcast. If you don't know Cavi or Cavi Design, go follow him on Instagram. He is an amazing illustrator and artist that does some stuff. And so he's working with a local brand out of Jacksonville called LaFavor. LaFavor does some really cool stuff. Really a competitor, so I'm talking about him, and only at the Players. But he did a print, 2 prints for them. And I went in on Friday because they had a little fan preview. I got to see some of the Nike stuff and some other stuff. his shirts were flying off like hotcakes at the thing. But there's a lot of talk of like the way that this merch is handled, what's out there. There's a lot of the shrink the game movement because of like these upside down letter hats, like 17 upside down, all that stuff. What are your guys' thoughts with how merch and how we deal with merch from like a Nike standpoint and everything like has expanded at these tournaments and events? Obviously, we see it at the Augusta Major being such a boom. Now I think TPC is probably the next one. I don't think we get that same sort of merch feel at the other majors, but these two really feel like the big merch majors, should I say. So just curious of your thoughts as it is a big part of what we do or what Nike does from like out there. So just curious on your thoughts on the merch that we are providing and that are in these pro shops.
I'll start it off. I'll kick it off. Just I think with the players being the players, it's for the people. It's for the best players in the world. There's a lot of different choices now when you go to to Augusta or to the players. It's people driven. I feel like these are your top two people moments to get the fans in, and these are some of your biggest pro shops to get in. There's a lot of choices, a lot of different creations, a lot of different creators that you see when you walk in. You think of something. It's like going, we've all made our way through the Augusta Pro Shop, and you think of it, and it's there. Same thing with the players. It's just like they know where to market, and I feel like those two tournaments are the biggest markets for fans. It's the two biggest markets for like social gatherings. I was talking to somebody on the course today about this. About the players being a big social gathering for the fans, corporate, a lot of corporate boxes here. One of the reasons why I'm down here for my job, I get invited, the last couple of years to come down and to enjoy, to mingle and to enjoy. That's what you're going to get here. You're getting a lot of footsteps through the gates, and you're gonna have a lot of a huge merch tent to supply it too. So I'm a fan. Is it a little, me personally, like dedicated to the swoosh and everything like that? Is it overboard a little bit? I think there's just a lot of different vendors, but stuff does fly off the shelves. There's a lot of people there, and people are just grabbing everything. So that's my 2 cents about it.
Yeah,
It's a good and bad. It's a lot of inventory. It's a lot of merch, and hell, like we try to do it with our own stuff. We try to bring in a little bit for the Swoosh Life and see how it does, and sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. It's just a hit or miss. So
Everything I
we're
brought
always
in is
we're always
blocked. Go
fighting,
ahead,
right,
say it.
Matt?
Sticker packs and
No,
pre-orders for all of our all over logo hoodie are now live and DM us on Instagram to purchase. So,
yeah,
plug. Yeah, I
I'll
think
be
it's
posting more of that
interesting.
as well.
Yeah, I think of the Lefevre stuff, and I thought it was really cool, and some other stuff and I really enjoy it. It's a very almost like high end fashion kind of thing. But it was flying on the shelf on a Friday. The Friday was open to the fans of Jacksonville, right? It wasn't the people there for the tournament yet. It was the Jacksonville like locals. So they all know this local brand and it's flying off the shelf. I tend to wonder. I think the logos and stuff are like immaculate that it would anyways. But I tend to wonder that if when the general crowd who comes in for it from outside of the world of Jacksonville sees that, do they pass by because they don't understand what that brand is and they go towards more of the name known. It's interesting just to kind of like see it that there are so many out there now that like Jacksonville brand will do well in Jacksonville for those of Jacksonville. You know what I mean? Matt, your thoughts? We didn't talk about this pre-show, but I thought it was
No,
interesting
it's a good
with
topic.
how
I
everything's
think
going.
it just goes to show this is how golf has gone, right? Like there's so many brands in golf versus like if you go to your Dick's Sporting Goods, right? It's like Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, and your Fanatic stuff and your jerseys and stuff like that. But golf, this is the challenge that Nike faces in golf is that there's all these challenger brands and everybody's got a local brand that they like and everybody's got their own personal relationship. I know the guy that started this or I know an investor in this. We're going to bring it into the pro shop. So yeah, if it was Dick's, Nike would have half the wall. You go to some of these things and Nike's fighting for space. And it's a different battle that the salespeople and the distributors have to fight for Nike, and it's it's super interesting because a lot of us would be like, yeah, why isn't there a full wall of Nike or anything like that? And that's also I like that they're favoring the hometown team, like they're bringing the hometown brand in there. I like that. I know this isn't necessarily the question that I'm answering, and I think I was struck by what you said about how this is like a top two merch. Because for me, it'd be like, okay, Masters merch number one, right? Which Nike has no rights to. There's never any Masters merch. It always has to be the pack, like the pack stuff that we get. So like Masters merch number one, I think I probably would put TPC just because the US Open doesn't really like have a great logo. I would put the Ryder Cup as like the second logo that I hunt for. And then the third would be the Players Championship because it is like Augusta where it is the one that people come back to every single year. It's at the same course every single year. So I
Yeah.
do like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's just been such a much
I
more
think
hot
I'm with you.
topic.
I think it's a top 2 or 3 merch destination. Yeah.
I feel like it's been such a much more hot topic with like logos and stuff like that. Like I feel like you're like you see a Seminole logo and you're like, oh my god, like that guy. Like you see the just become more of like that like mainstream of seeing a golf logo in the wild has become more like
I love
a
it.
status symbol in a
Yeah.
sense, So, and I think it's like that. It was interesting being there, and Keith will be there. But like I said, boots on the ground the next couple of days. But I was telling my wife about it. I did not bring her. I just went by myself as we were packing up, and I was like, "You would have loved it," but it was a lot of like wives and girlfriends. It was almost like the wags were getting all of the stuff on Friday because golf in like the south of Jacksonville, it feels very like part of the lifestyle that everyone's in, and it's not just like the husbands go golf and the wives stay home. It's like the no, we're out and about, we do it together, we have fun, and
Yeah.
I
Social.
saw that at Jacksonville Beach Golf Club on a Thursday night. I'm hitting the range at 6:30, and it's packed, and it's a lit range, and then there's like a girls' first tee group, like a little girls' first tee group, and it's like 30 kids in it. And you're like, holy, you know what I mean? Like, it's different down there. So, it's almost like way of life. I know people in Jacksonville love the Players Championship. They feel very connected that is their like championship, which is pretty cool. So, all right. Speaking of Players Championship, let's get into it. It is time for the winner's circle. I did all of those fun um, sound effects last week or last episode, and then they were cut out in the final episode because I used magic, whatever, to AI something. So that was all for naught. So maybe we won't use those again. But time for the winner's circle. So again, we pick our favorite Nike players, who we think is going to win this week at the Players Championship. Chris Goddard, Scottie Scheffler, hopefully Rory McIlroy in the field. We've got who else in the field?
I got the list if you want me to run them
Perfect.
down.
Go for it. Go for it. This used to be Keith's pick, but he had to surrender that for being
We had to get
terrible.
rid of we had to get rid of that. All right. This is so much better, the winner's circle.
I don't know. I named it Keith's pick. I don't know. I'm
I
still
know.
torn.
Keith's
Oh,
pick.
thanks, Matt. We got Rory. Hopefully he's back from the back injury. Scotty, Brooks, Robbie Mack, Davis Thompson, Tony, and Goddard. Tom Kim is not in because he was injured towards the end of the year and has not qualified for it. So that is our starting lineup right there. I'll kickstart it since we can go Keith's pick winner circle still. He's already won twice this year. I feel like when I bumped into him last year, I took a picture of him out of nowhere. I'm like, who is this guy? He's wearing all Nike. Never, saw him on the bag and everything. He wins a couple times last year, right? He's got a couple wins already. I'm going Goddard up. He's got the hot hand right now. I feel like Gumby. Were you going that route too? Were you going that? You could pick the same. Oh, there we go.
Oh man,
You could pick the same guy too.
I know I can.
Or all three of us. Let's go.
Matt, you go next.
I'm going Scottie Scheffler. I wanted to
You
go
go.
with Brooks. Go with my heart. I was considering Goddard, but I feel like you two are going to battle the Goddard battle right now. So that I'm thinking I got to go with the best player in the game. Period.
Yeah, but normally when we don't go with him, then he wins. So if we want, you know what I mean. So, but no,
I might be jinxing him. I might be jinxing
I
him.
know. I get stuck into those like people that like will show up on Twitter and be like, so there's only these stats and only these 6 people have done this and done that and done that. And it literally was like Jake Knapp and Chris Gotterup. And I was like, over the last 8 years who have won the majors, coming into it, and this coming into it, all stuff. So, yeah, I guess I'll play a little defense or whatever. And that I put $5 on him already, so go win me some still 250, Chris Gotterup. So he'll go with it, see what happens. 2 Gotterups and a Scheffler. I like it. So that is the winner's circle for us, the season-long race. If you guys want to interest in and you want to give us your picks, send it to us on Instagram, and that is at the Swoosh Life Podcast on Instagram. Our DMs are always open, and again, our sticker packs and our all over logo hoodie pre-sale is now available, now open. So DM us on Instagram, get that to Keith, and we'll do it. And a little bit of the last housekeeping too is you can go to bluemaca.com, use the code word swoosh20, 20% off your next purchase. Blue Maca, if you guys don't know, is an insole company for your shoes, your golf shoes, your basketball shoes. We rave reviews from our 2 test subjects, aka Matt and Keith. If you guys want to give a little plug, you can, but I've heard really good things from Blue Maca. So again, you can go to bluemaca.com, code swoosh20 for 20% off your next purchase.
Yeah, I think the great thing about these, actually, guys, I've got so many insoles, but the difference in these, what they talk about is the no slip. So putting them in my, played in the Schefflers a couple weeks ago with snow still on the ground, and shoes didn't slip because they had soft spikes. Shout out to soft spikes, and the insole didn't slip, and it was a difference. I got to tell you, I did feel a difference.
Yeah, always shout out to soft spikes, great partner for us, and everything. We'll wrap up here. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us, all of that jazz. We are growing. We got 2 weeks until Air Max Day, and our bracket show is March Madness kicks off in the next week or 2, and then we got some good stuff planned for Augusta. We got some very good stuff for Augusta. Oh, that was it. That was what I was going to say. So, any final words as we wrap up our TPC Sawgrass Players Preview show before we head out tonight?
I'll go first, and I'll just say, Keith, thanks for picking me up a polo, because I know you're going to. It will be, I think, Gumby is very verified, because it's one of the best logos in all of golf, actually. So I definitely need something. But thanks, everybody.
I got you, Matt. But look, be on the lookout, everybody. Swoosh Life Podcast, Instagram, and my personal Instagram. It'll be like a Where's Waldo kind of thing. You'll know what I'll be wearing, so come find me. I should be there Wednesday afternoon, Thursday afternoon definitely, and Friday all day. I'll have some sticker packs if you guys want to come over and help support the pod. That'd be great. I'll have them with me. But other than that, can't wait to go see some of these guys. Ready to go. Gumby, all you.
Lastly, just want to give a shout out. This episode is dedicated to my grandfather. Passed away this week, and so he's a big supporter of us on the podcast. He helped us, helped me get down to Orlando, and kicked off some really good stuff with us with Nike. And so I never got to play golf with him, but he loved golf, and we went to the Masters in 2018 together. 3 generations of Henrys there. So, Mr. Grandpa, love you, miss you, and appreciate you boys for this today. It was a great distraction. Yeah, so I know he's proud of us and proud of me, so that was cool. Sorry to end on that note. It is Players Week. We're excited, and we can't wait for the stuff coming up. It's going to be really cool. Look out for Keith out there. For the Swoosh Life Podcast, Matt, Keith, Gumby. See you in the next one. Bye. If you enjoyed today's episode, go follow us at the Swoosh Life Podcast on Instagram, where we have a lot more content. Watch us on YouTube at the Swoosh Life Podcast. Subscribe, like, and leave a comment. And make sure you keep listening to us on all the places that you can find your podcast, Apple, Spotify, and more. We'll see you in the next one. This has been the Swoosh Life Podcast.
Checks over stripes, yeah, that's what I like. Yeah, that's what we like. Yeah.